Hi everyone, Fiona from Performance Physiotherapy here. I was just running through some exercises with a patient who has a stiff low back, and I thought I'd share these with you today because I'm sure there's loads of you sitting out there who've been sitting more than normal, your exercise routine has totally changed in the past couple of weeks, and you're feeling it a bit in your back. So if you are, then give these a shot and see how you feel. So the first exercise we're going to start with is a simple pelvic tilt, moving into a easy hip bridge. Okay, so all you need for this exercise is a nice comfortable piece of space on the floor or a mat. So if you come down to lie on your back with your knees bent up, and what we're going to start with is a pelvic tilt, which is where you tilt your pelvis backwards and forwards. Okay, so tilting your pelvis backwards flattens the space in your low back, flattens the space between your low back and the floor, and then lifts your hips off the ground very slightly, and then tilting your pelvis forwards brings your hips right down to the ground and then creates a larger arch in your low back. And all we want to do here is gradually, gently move between the two. So tilting your hips backwards, flattening the space between your low back and the ground, lifting your hips up, and then tilting forwards. So digging your hips into the ground and creating an arch at your low back. Backwards and forwards. Just nice and gently, nice and slowly. And if you find this easy, on your next one, try coming into a hip bridge. So we start this with the pelvic tilt. Start by tilting up, so squashing the space in between your low back and the ground, and then gradually lifting your hips and then your low back up and off the ground one by one, lifting them as high as they go until you're in a nice straight line between your shoulders and your hips and your knees. Holding that position at the top for a second, you should feel a bit tight in the back of your thighs and hips and back, and then slowly lower down. So try and imagine peeling your back bit by bit back down onto the ground. All the way down, and then coming back into the pelvic tilts. So tipping forwards, back, forwards, back, and lifting again, all the way up. Holding that at the top, remembering to breathe, and lowering back down. So what we're going to do next is happy cat, angry cat, or a cat cow. Just a nice, easy, simple exercise to get some lovely movement in your back, okay? Get your whole body working together. So again, all we need is the mat or the floor, and we start in a 4-point kneeling position where hands are shoulder width apart and knees are hip width apart, and you just find that comfortable space in the middle, okay? Gazing down between our hands, okay? And we're going to start with angry cat, which we start movement at the pelvis and going back into that pelvic tilt where you're tucking down and then arching your low back all the way up and pushing your hands away from the floor, dropping your head down to look between your knees. Nice stretch in your low back here, and then slowly coming out of that movement, coming down into our happy cat, which is the opposite. So arms stay straight here, arms don't bend. It's not push up, so arms stay straight. You drop your belly down towards the floor, drop your body down, pinch your shoulder blades back and together and look up and forward, creating a nice arch in your back and then moving between the two. So I like to breathe in on the way up into Angry Cat and then breathe out on the way down into Happy Cat. Angry Cat, pushing up, tucking the pelvis under, lifting tummy button up to spine, dropping the head down, gazing between my knees, and then dropping into Angry Cat, slowly moving the back, dropping the stomach down, looking up and forward, Happy Cat. Our next exercise is a variation between two resting postures, Child's Pose and Sphinx Pose. All you need is a mat and a pillow for these. So we'll start in Child's Pose, which is kneeling on the ground, knees separate or together, whatever's most comfortable for you. And you can choose to put a pillow underneath your hips to improve your comfort here if you like. And all you're doing is leaning your body forward, stretching forward. So just relaxing here. Sitting back on your heels, and you can choose to use your hands to press away from the ground and create a nice stretch in your back. The main thing here is that you're keeping your spine nice and relaxed. So this is Child's Pose, and then for Sphinx Pose we pop the pillow away and then come forward onto our bellies and come to rest up on our elbows. Again, it's a resting pose, not a plank. We're not doing any kind of hard work here. You're just resting, and our back here is in the same position as Happy Cat, so a nice arch. We're resting on our elbows. You can sit here for a while, you can read a book, watch some TV, just chill out. And you're just letting your body relax into this position, letting your back relax into the nice arch. And then pressing back again for Child's Pose. Relaxing here again, pushing away if you like. And here, your back's in the same position as Angry Cat, so a nice curve. Relaxing here, and then forwards to Sphinx Pose. So our last position of the day is a low back twisting rotational stretch, okay? So you come to lie down on your back, and all you do is lift one knee up. So I'm starting with my right knee and then crossing that over my body to come to rest on the floor, and then stretching my head and my right shoulder over to the right. All we're doing is breathing in and out here, and every time you breathe out, just let that right leg stretch down further and your body relax. Then come back to the centre. Swap sides, swap legs. Right leg comes down this time, left leg up and over, and my left arm lies across the floor. And again, just breathing in and out. Relaxing with the breath out and allowing your spine and hips to enjoy a bit of a twist. You can go back and forward between those two positions as many times as you like. That can be a really nice stretch, a nice rotational stretch for any kind of stiff backs.